guys, welcome back to another episode of Deck Doctor. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at Red Yellow Burn, a deck that kind of dips in and out of popularity, and I always find that Burn comes back into the metagame after a major patch. We just had the new Dawn patch, version 0.9, so Burn is on the ladder again. No one's figured out the metagame, so that tends to be the time where Burn shines, when people are trying new stuff and it can punish those decks. A Burn deck, even though it has its kind of own archetype, which is the Burn archetype, it is a control deck. You play it defensively, you sit back, you chip away at their health from a distance with removal, and you just slowly chip that life away until you get enough lands to play a Scourge Flame Spectre and go for the win. So let's take a look at the creatures of the deck to start things off. So here are the creatures of the deck. We are missing one. We're missing the Rebel Slinger. The Rebel Slinger does 2 damage when he's played from your hand. He costs 3 Faeria, and he has a 2/2. I couldn't find the card image for this through my card image collection, so I have left him out. But the Rebel Slinger just acts as a free Faeria, deal 2 damage. That's his main purpose, and he'll collect Faeria for you as well. But the main core of this deck really comes around Bloodsinger. Like, Bloodsinger is a card that can snowball really out of control, especially if you have multiples. They deal 1 damage to your opponent when a creature dies on their side. And if you've got multiple Bloodsingers going off, you can have a lot of damage kind of stacking up when you use your removal. A Flame Spitter, great card. You know, it's a cheap Faeria Gatherer, deals 1 damage, can help you remove a creature, can just deal 1 damage to the face. So very much like Rebel Slinger, but you get to choose where the damage goes. And it's a very versatile card which can help you finish your opponent off, or like I said, handle some creatures you're trying to remove. A Grimguard is kind of your defensive tool. A 2/5 with combat, deal 2 damage to your opponent. So whenever your opponent fights this, they'll take 2 damage. And this is what they call a vicious mechanic. You take damage, you get punished for dealing combat damage to these creatures, and he's more of a bodyguard. He's going to protect you when you're getting rushed down or you're facing some aggression, but he's also going to be dealing that little bit of damage as well, which all adds up. That's the thing with this deck, all the damage just adds up. So yeah, next up we have the Ground Shaker, just one of the best cards in red, easily. 5/6 for 6 Faeria, great stat line, but also deal 1 damage to everything. So that's your opponent's orb and what's on board as well. Your creatures don't get hit by this, it's only enemies, but it's just a great body. It's got a great gift effect as well, and it's just one of the most dominant cards in the metagame right now. So let's take a look at the events cards, which will be the main core of your Burn. So next up we have the event cards, and we're going to start off with your removal and your direct damage. So Cypher's Wrath is a removal card, but has the additional effect of dealing 2 damage to the creature's controller that is removed, which is just great because it just synergizes the whole deck, but also allows you to remove creatures from hand. Flame Burst, very similar, can be used as removal, but also can be used as direct damage, and this is one of your finishers. If your opponent's sitting on 6 health, double Flame Burst is a very common way for Burn players to finish off their game. Firestorm is next, 3 damage to all enemy creatures. Just a good area of effect card, can easily wipe a board. Combos very well with the second copy of Firestorm. Double Firestorm can easily wipe out any board. And it combos with Ground Shaker and all the other removal cards in your deck. Soul Drain cannot target your opponent. It can only target creatures, but it gives you life. So it helps you when you're trying to remove creatures. So you can like Soul Drain into Cypher's Wrath, that gives you 2 health and deals 2 damage to your opponent. So it's a good piece of removal, and it gives you a bit of sustain, so it will allow you to stay in the fight longer and maybe get those little pieces of burn that you need to finish off the match. And last but not least, Last Nightmare, just hard removal. You know, we're playing yellow, why not use the best removal card in the game? And this is just a great card to help you remove any real threats off the board and continue putting on pressure on your opponent's life with those burn spells. Last but not least, let's look at the finisher of the deck, the guy who will probably end most games for you. And that guy is Scourge Flame Spectre, and he is a very powerful card. A 3/5, fly in haste, charge 2, combat, deal free damage to your opponent. Now this card, you want to be netting as much face damage with this card, but also you want to be able to deal damage to multiple creatures. So what this card is great for is removal. It's great for that direct damage from its combat effect. And what if your best targets are little guys? If you can kill a little guy and then another creature from your opponent's side has to finish off your Scourge Flame, that's 6 damage to 6 Faeria, and you've probably removed 2 creatures. So it's just awesome. Like, it's such a great card, and it really helps bring this deck together. And I think if this card didn't exist, I don't think Burn would be running yellow at all. I think Burn would just be a mono red deck. But because of this dual color card, red yellow Burn is the king of Burn as far as things go. So let's take a look at your land placement and talk about your strategy. So land placement's pretty simple with this deck. You basically just want to build your land on the side of your orbs to make Faeria collectors. And you're going to spend most of your game just sitting back at your orb and dealing damage from afar. You don't really want to progress too far unless you feel you can safely double collect if the game's going on quite long. So you can go up the sides, but I'd only recommend it, like I said, if you feel it's safe enough to double collect. And yeah, that's it. Basically, you just build, I would suggest just 2 mountains, 2 deserts. So 2 mountains next to your orb, maybe 2 deserts on each side, and just build enough to build a Scourge Flame, sit back, collect Faeria, and just hurl damage from afar. That's the beauty of burn decks in this game. So before we finish things off, let's look at a budget version of this deck. The yellow-red burn is quite an expensive deck, has a lot of epics in it. So I've made a version that doesn't have too many epics. That's quite a few rares, few commons. The only epics it's using is Flame Burst. I feel like Flame Burst is just, you need that card for burn. It's just too important. I've taken out the Scourge Flame Spectres just because they're actually epics, and I've just made a red version. And like I was saying earlier, if Scourge Flame didn't exist, it would just be mono red as a burn deck. And let's just take a look at the cards. So we have the Rebel Slinger, which we've spoken about. The only cards we haven't talked about, Flamethrower. I like Flamethrower personally. I think you should try it out, see how you feel about it. It can really catch your opponent by surprise and deal a lot of damage. It does 3 damage from range, and if it deals orb damage, it does 1 damage to all enemies, a bit like Ground Shaker. If you have Ground Shakers, I would just replace the Flamethrower with Ground Shakers. It's just a lot better. Cypher's Fodder is a perfectly viable burn card. I don't think too much of it personally, but it's a 4/3 that deals 2 damage to your opponents when it dies. Firebomb, 4 damage based removal, just so more removal available. And Shemdin Brute, it's a 3/6 that has the same combat effect as Grimguard, which is deal 2 damage based on combat. So this is just a cheaper version. If you can't afford all the cards that you're just building towards this deck, give this a shot first and see if you like the deck. So that's it for this week of Deck Doctor. Thank you very much for watching as usual. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them below and I'll try to get back to you guys. Also follow us on our social medias, like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you've got any friends who are interested in Faeria, these videos might be able to help them get into the game easier. And that's what we want to do. We want to build a big community for this fantastic game, and just letting people know about it is the best way we can do that. Thanks again, guys. I'll be back with Deck Pilot for this deck list, and I hope you tune into that video as well. Take care and have a great day.